Hi folks, in this video I explain how to use the truth machine. This program is still in development, so if some of the modes are still grayed out when you're watching this video, those aren't available yet, but you can choose from any of the modes over here that are selectable by these radio buttons. The basic operations of the machine is you enter in some sentence, like I'll put in P or not Q, and then click the create table button. And this automatically creates a table for me with the reference columns filled in and with little columns under each connective. So this is where I'm going to start entering values. Notice a couple of things about this. The main connective is the disjunction. So that column, these are gray, colored gray in the background to help you focus on which is the main connective. And when you're sitting in any particular field, it shows you where to look for the inputs that are going to determine what answer I ought to put here. Now, since this main connective depends upon the not Q, I need to fill out this column over here first. Notice that when I have the cursor on not Q, the only thing colored in highlighted yellow here is a reference column. So that means this is something that I could fill in. I'm just going to invert the values of the Q column in order to fill this out. Notice if I did this incorrectly, what happens is it turns red. So purple is the right color for false values and blue is the right color for T values. But if you ever get red, then that's giving you feedback that you need to go back and try again. Now that I've gotten both of those sides, I have P and I have not Q done, I can now compute this disjunction. So this is just going to be T, T, FT. And look, there's no red at all, so I've completed my table. You can also test yourself and fill in the assessment down here to see if you understand those concepts properly. Now that's the truth table, that's the truth machine in its most basic mode. You can also do two sentences and create a joint truth table. So this is sort of nice. You can test equivalence this way. So let's say, oops, I need to add another sentence. Let's say I have P or Q and my other sentence is Q or P. Notice now it generates a joint truth table for me. Notice there are two columns it grayed in the background because there's two main connectives here. And all I need to do is fill out these values and you'll see that, well, for one thing, you'll see that this is equivalent. So what I ought to do in my assessment now is check the equivalent box. These are both contingent. So to get all the assessments right, I need to fill out all of those. And it's giving me some feedback down here. Notice when I clicked the enter button previously, it said it gave me some feedback that one or more sentences is empty. So sometimes if you put in a typo or something down here, it'll color red. And if you need some feedback as to what kind of syntax error you've made, look in the message area. So this helps it become a learning exercise for you. Let me say, if you're in the first half of the course, then you don't need to watch the rest of this video, but there's one more mode in this machine that you can check out called the truth functional form mode. So if you've encountered first order logic in the last third of the textbook, notice now when I click this mode, the sentence, it's asking for a sentence of FOL, like maybe I'm going to add the sentence for all x, P of x, and not for all x, Q of x. Now I have a sentence of FOL here, and this is asking me to identify the truth functional form of that sentence. This is the underlining method. So now the thing that I enter in the solution field here is the truth functional form. In this case, these whole units get underlined so that things inside the scope of those quantifiers. And since these connectives are not in the quantifiers, they get preserved. Also, let me also point out, P is the first atomic sentence letter we always use. So this would be P is going to replace that first quantifier. The and the negation are preserved. And this last bit, since it's different than the first bit, it needs a different letter. So I go to Q. If I have a third part, I go to R, etc. And then this is going to color green if I actually get it right. Notice, what if I did something wrong? What if I started with R or something else like that, and I got the wrong answer? Notice there's also a hint button here. And what that's going to tell you is how much of your answer was correct, up until which point. So notice that it says down here, I have the P and the negation all correct. So that gives me some feedback and helps me sort of learn from that mistake and see, okay, I just need to replace this R bit and try again. Okay, that's the basic operations of the truth machine. If these other modes are available too, by the time you watch this video, then check those out and you have more modes that you can keep learning from. All right, thanks.